All right, everybody, what is going on? Good morning. It is game day here in Seattle, and I do have my power back so I can make a real pregame video, which is always awesome. I was worried I was going to have to do something kind of Mickey Mouse on my laptop and then try to take my laptop to the gym and upload it from the gym, and it wasn't even going to look good or sound good, and it just wasn't going to be any fun. So, luckily, my power is back and I can make a real video. So, big game tonight. We've got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the LA Rams. Prime time Thursday night football. Going to be watching this one very closely. And we're going to have a very active day because I got this video later today. We'll probably get some official word on who is going to be in or out for the Rams because they have a couple of things up in the air with their players. But yeah, we're going to do post game. I'm going to do a post game stream on Bleacher, post game video. So, very busy day. Before we go any further into this video, I want to tell you guys a little bit about my friends over at Sleeper. If you're not using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. Get over there. Check out the left side of your screen right now. I've got the app up. Look at all this great stuff you can get up to. Look at all the over-unders you can pick on. I've got an entry for this week. Let's take a look. I got Mike Evans over 60 yards. You know they're going to be throwing him the ball a lot. I got Keenan Allen over 36 yards. You know that he's going to want to try to cash in a little bit here against a weak Dallas defense. Jamar Chase with the anytime touchdown on Miami, and J.J. McCarthy under 189 passing yards. So get on over to Sleeper. You can put together a ticket just like this. Use the promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Check it out. Put together your own ticket and have some fun with sports. Back to the video. All right, so obviously this is the game of the year for the Seahawks. It's the game of the year for the Rams, and it might be game of the year for the entire NFL. Like, you've got two 11-win teams in the same division. Winner is likely going to win the West. Loser becomes a almost certain wild card team. And that could make all the difference down the stretch, man. That could make all the difference here. I know that some people would argue that, hey, Seattle's better on the road, but I'd rather play at home. I would rather play those games at home, and I think that some of this road home stuff is a little bit, it's subject to random variance in a small sample size. I want to play these games at home. I want to win the division. I want to try to get the 1 seed. I want to try to get that first round bye to guarantee at least a second round trip. And more than any of that, maybe, I want to actually beat the Rams. And if we do not win this game, and look, the Rams are a great team. They might be the best team in the league, and there's no shame in losing to them. But if we do not win this game, and however it happens, and it could happen by a fluke, right? We could lose this game on a complete fluke. This game could get handed to the Rams by the refs. There's all kinds of funny stuff that could happen. But if we lose this game, however we lose it, it will just kind of feel like the Rams still own us. And they are going to be an obstacle to us getting to where we want to go because we just can't get past them. It's going to be hard to move off that mindset. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that we can't beat them. I'm not here to tell you that our season is over just because we might lose this game. I'm not going to get on here and make a video saying our season is over if we do lose this game. But it's going to kind of feel a little bit like we're just not there yet. And maybe we can win a playoff game. Maybe we can win a couple playoff games. But if we match up against this Rams team, they just got us. That's what it's going to feel like a little bit. And I'd like to prevent that. And the way in which we prevent that is by winning tonight. And I think we have the pieces to do it. I really do. I think that you look at that first game where I believe that this team last month showed they've got the pieces to play with this Rams team, especially on defense. Now, the other side of the ball didn't play great, but I even on that side, I can see the formula. I really can. And I think a good game plan and good execution by this Seahawks team can win this game. I really do believe that. But if we do not win this game, my words are going to ring very hollow Because if there's a third matchup this year where we play the Rams for a third time, I might say these things, but if we have just finished getting swept by LA, then, I mean, how much credence are you going to give something like that when we haven't actually seen it yet? And the nature of football is that you only get a handful of games. This is not baseball. This is not basketball. This is not even hockey. This is a sport where you only get 20 games a year at most. I guess 21 is the maximum. And what you are and what you want to be defined as has to be shown in that 17 to 21 game set. So I get it, right? If this were basketball, you'd get to play this team over and over and over again. And eventually, if you actually had the formula, it would show up. You can have the formula and just not have it work for a couple games in a year. But nevertheless, I really want and kind of need to see this team come through tonight. So let's start with the defense here, because that's the side of the ball I'm feeling quite good about. I think this defense is going to show up in a big way. I think you could easily make an argument that this defense was kind of thinking about this Rams team for the last week and a half already. You look at that Colts game where the defense played well. I don't know how much focus and emphasis they had on stopping a Colts offense with Phillip Rivers. And to me, while they did play really well against the Colts, the game plan felt a little bit generic and simplified and boilerplate. I didn't get the sense that we cultivated every little detail of that game plan for what we wanted to do against that specific Colts team. It felt a little generic to me. And I'm hoping part of the reason why that was is that we were thinking about these LA Rams. And what the Rams are doing this year, I mean, they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot. But the main thing they're really introducing this year is they are throwing these 3 tight end sets out there. They're going jumbo, and they're letting opposing teams struggle to figure out how to stop it. The only team this year that has really had a lot of success stopping the 3 tight end sets from LA is this Seattle team. And it goes beyond just the 3 tight end sets. You look at the numbers, you look at the production, you look at the EPA, you look at all the stats. That first game we played against LA about a month ago, that was one of the, some metrics would say, the worst game of the Matt Stafford era in a game that Matt Stafford actually played in for the Rams. Like, they've had some games where things weren't great, but the fact that they were only able to put up whatever it was, 21 points off of 4 turnovers, and the fact that they barely could move the ball was very rare for this McVay Stafford squad. So there is a little bit of a formula here, and it's a couple of different things. One, I think that there is a lack of fear of the Rams play action game, because the Rams do like play action, because the Seahawks feel like, and this kind of ties into the 3 tight end thing, this Seahawks team feels like they can stop the run with their defensive backs. Nick Emanwari playing that nickel corner spot, fast, big, unique skill set that you almost never see in this league. Very, very rare you have a player like Nick Emanwari. And Devin Witherspoon playing like overall maybe the best corner in football, literally number 1 on Pro Football Focus, Witherspoon. And I think that they just feel like, you know what? We're going to have our edge rushers not respect the run. We're going to play nickel and even dime defense against 3 tight end sets, and we don't think the Rams can punish us. And in that first game, for the most part, the Seahawks won that gamble. I look at what the Rams are right now. Now it's a little bit different. They don't have Davante Adams, almost certainly, by the way. He's unlikely to play. It's not impossible as of this recording, but I'm going to say it again. I think it would be shockingly irresponsible if Davante Adams played in this game. The Rams are a playoff team. They're obviously already in it. They have higher aspirations than just being a playoff team this year. It's a short week, Sunday to Thursday. You do not want to mess around with an older player who has been important for you, by the way, this year. Davante Adams, while he's certainly not going to have some 1,200, 1,300 yard season this year, he's been very important to them. You're not going to put that guy out there for a regular season game, no matter how important that regular season game is, unless you just don't care if he goes out for the rest of the season. And You've also got, I think, Havenstein is still out as well. So there's going to be some impact there. I don't think as great as anything else. This Rams team doesn't need great play from their offensive line to get what they need done. So I think that there is a little bit of a reduced threat compared to that first game even. But it's not even really about that. Like the absence of Davante Adams, it hurts the Rams in the red zone, and it also makes it easier for Seattle to roll coverage to Puka and just say, anybody else who wants to beat us in this game, feel free. If Tutu Atwell can beat us, good for him. If Jordan Whittington can beat us, good for him. If there are three tight ends who are having nice seasons, admittedly, Colby Parkinson, Terrence Ferguson, Davis Allen, if those guys beat us, then good for them. But no Devontae means you get to kind of go at Puka a little bit more. And I think that is obviously valuable. But to me, it feels like an afterthought to this game. Can you stop the run? Can you stop the Rams' three tight end sets? Can you get these things done without going to base? Can you play that three tight end look without blitzing? Because that is, to me, the trap that a lot of teams fall into. They see the three tight end set. They think to themselves, okay, they're in jumbo. We got to go to jumbo. We got to have 7-man fronts. We got to have 8-man fronts. We got to play base. And then we got to blitz. A lot of teams feel like the natural answer to a three tight end set, these jumbo goal line style packages, is to blitz if it's not at the goal line. And I think that the Rams have over and over and over again punished teams that do that. They did not punish Seattle in that first game because Seattle did a pretty good job of not falling for the trap. They didn't blitz a ton, and they, for the most part, stayed in base, stayed in nickel, and it worked great. So to me, the formula is there. Now, are there some other concerns here? Yes. Stafford is very good at getting the ball out of his hands quickly. We know this. Matt Stafford is definitely somebody who's going to be able to get the ball out of his hands fast, neutralize your pass rush, and I do think that Seattle has a little bit of a harder time dictating the pace of the game against a quarterback like that, but you need to know that going in. You need to understand what you're dealing with, and I would definitely shy away from falling into the trap of trying to blitz a lot in general because Stafford has seen it all. He knows all. He knows all, and I don't think blitzing is really going to help you that much in this game. That Rams offensive line is honestly not great. What's great is their offense that they run with McVay that keeps Stafford so clean. So I think that you don't need to blitz a lot in this game. I'm hoping we don't fall into that trap. But I think the pieces are there, man. We have corners to throw at Puka. We don't have a secondary receiving option to worry about. Maybe the biggest concern I would have would be Kyren Williams because that power interior running game that the Rams have is it could be a little bit of a problem because Seattle is a little bit light up front. They don't have a true nose tackle, and they just do the best they can with, I would argue, 3 techs, more or less. Now, they make it work. To their credit, they make it work phenomenally well, but I would say that I prefer the way it works against an outside running team. The Rams are not an outside running team. They are an inside power running team. They want to get up in the A gap, B gap. They want to run between the tackles. I don't know if Seattle is expertly equipped to handle that, but there is enough going on here in this game for you to do your thing. So you lay it out all out, you list it up, and I like this matchup for our defense. I do. It's the other side that you ask questions about. The Seattle offense, which, I mean, look, there's a lot that can be said about that first game where the offense did not really play well. I guess the running game was kind of sort of okay, but Matt Stafford, Sam Darnold, our quarterback, not the other quarterback, it does kind of feel like he needs to have a big game this week, or at least an effective game, just to kind of get rid of the ghosts of what happened a month ago. And it's not necessarily logical. It's not necessarily fair. It's not necessarily something that I would partake in as somebody that tries to be a little bit more clinical. But if he doesn't show up this week, it's going to be really rough to win back trust. That first game, he was terrible, and I'm not here to say anything otherwise. And I think that there's a big chunk of the Seahawks fan base that cannot get past that game. He's played great this year. He has played at a level very few quarterbacks in franchise history have ever done. He has done incredible things, and he's doing it on a relatively discounted contract. He's doing it on an offense that is far from stacked with talent. And whatever happens the rest of the way, I am pretty darn well, maybe enthused is not the right word, but I am pretty content and pretty intrigued by seeing what he can do going forward, whatever happens. But I cannot deny that it will be a little bit harder to stand up for him if we get another stinker against the team that we really need to beat. I go back to that first game, and let's just start with the whole Darnold conversation. Big problem that he was trying to push it down the field. And he was so bad trying to do that, that I think you have seen him kind of abandon that part of his game ever since that game. I saw a tweet earlier today that said that Sam Darnold was the best quarterback in the league at making tight window throws before the Rams game. After the Rams game, he has not completed a single tight window throw, and I would say he's attempted very, very few. Probably just a handful of attempts, very little attempts to go downfield. Maybe he's gun shy, maybe he's scared, maybe it's just one of those things where that went so badly he's kind of had to reevaluate his game. You do see things like that, not just in football, but in life, and I mean, I'm not even just talking about sports, I'm talking about life in general. It's hard to have an experience that bad and not reevaluate the way you're doing things. I miss the Sam Darnold of earlier this year who was making great tight window throws and pushing the ball down the field and taking risks and trusting his receivers to make a play on the ball. I do miss that Sam Darnold. But this week, in this specific game, I hope that we get the Sam Darnold that learned a lesson from that first game. And I'm tying Clint Kubiak into that as well because he's got to enable this. But I want to see a Sam Darnold that is focused on getting the ball out quick, taking the easy play for just a few yards, checking it down, hitting the screen, finding the guy underneath, understanding that it's okay to just pick up 3 yards, using his legs a little bit, scrambling around, and just trying to not let the game get away from him. He doesn't need to be excellent in this game, I don't think. If we get deeper into this game and the Rams offense is going off, maybe not. But for now, I don't think so. 3 of those interceptions that he threw against the Rams in the first game, he's throwing right into the teeth of the defense. And what the Rams do, they don't blitz. They send 4. They rely on their front 4 to get pressure. And they drop 7. And they cover things up downfield. You try to make a tight window throw on this Rams team, you're kind of giving them exactly what they want because they've got 7 guys back there to defend however many receivers you have. So you cannot give them what they want. You check it down. You throw it short. You understand these are not going to be big plays. You understand some of these plays aren't really going to go anywhere. But you take away their ability to just blanket everything downfield and use 7 guys to defend your, at most, 5 receivers. So that's what I want to see. And I hate to say it because I think that this offense might be overall better if they open it up a little bit and let Darnold get back to the stuff he was doing earlier this year. In this game, I'm not messing around with it, especially with no Charles Cross, Josh Jones in there at left tackle. Look, I think Josh Jones can be okay. I do. I think that Josh Jones can hold up for one game with a good game plan and a good game by the quarterback. I think we can be okay. But it has to come from other players than Josh Jones. It can't come from us expecting Josh Jones to be an elite left tackle. It has to come from an understanding that he is mediocre at absolute best, and he's a noticeable downgrade from the guy we had in there, and you have to do things the right way to account for that. So hopefully we get that. And I feel like if we get the right game plan from Kubiak and we get the right methodology and process from Sam Darnold, we can win this game. I don't have a ton of faith in the run game right now to show up. I will acknowledge that. I think that my faith in the run game is shaken after last week because it really didn't show up in a game where we needed it and it should have been there. So I'm not super high on our running game being able to control. I don't think we're going to run the ball for like 150 yards or anything like that. If it's there, great. If it's there, great. And I don't think you can abandon it. I think you got to try to ride with it a little bit and try to take the pressure off of Darnold against this defense that is kind of built to stop what he does. But I'm not expecting anything stellar on that side. So, yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. Just keep it safe, keep it simple. Try to keep the variance a little bit low. I know I usually am not a big low variance guy, especially in a game against a good team, but trust your defense. I'm going to go with Seattle wins 23-20, and hopefully later tonight I'm on Bleacher Report and here talking about it. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Everyone have a good day.